they made a recording of the last section of this show. And we'll put this live on Facebook too. I wonder if we will. Maybe yes, maybe no. I wonder if it's still live. It says it is. Okay. Let's just keep going then. All right, now let's get back to screen share. Maybe it'll make a difference now. Okay. It's sharing the screen. I'll continue with this story. Okay. While I was living in East Los Angeles, I was a caretaker for 5 young children, ranging in age from 1 year to 7 years old. Now Google Chrome is not responding. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that these stories that I'm sharing with you, what happened in my life, I was looking through past files because when I wrote my first book, I discovered that the only writing that I do and I keep comes from my inner guidance. And so it's truth. So it doesn't have to come out of the moment because it comes out of the truth, whether the truth is what I'm sharing at this moment or what I've shared in the past. So that's why, because I have intention to write a lot of news stories, but I haven't yet, and I haven't found the time slot to do that. So I thought, since I would like to share my stories with you, because they are examples of what is now the one rule. In those days it wasn't. It was the power of respect. Okay, let's see. So this is one of them. And this is the third story. While I was living in East Los Angeles, I was a caretaker for 5 young children ranging in age from 1 year to 7 years old. The oldest went to school, but the other 4 were too young and stayed home. They would wander or run aimlessly around the house, doing things like dumping cereal out of the box onto the floor, tearing up papers, making messes wherever they went. Sometimes they watched TV, and they often got into fights over this and that, especially the 2 older girls. They had a few toys, but weren't interested in playing with them. Before their brother left for school, he would literally jump on one or more of the younger children and body slam them onto the couch, leaving them crying. He repeated this when he got home from school. I needed to learn about them, their interests and abilities. I'd follow them, cleaning up their messes, doing my best to make sure they didn't hurt each other or themselves. I asked the older brother not to hurt his brothers and sisters. He didn't pay much attention. I gave as much attention to each one as I could. The baby liked being held, so she was often on my hip as I went through the day. I discovered that the oldest girl wanted to learn how to read and write. We did as much as we could, but we were often interrupted by the other older girl, who was a live wire. She liked it when we went out for walks, which we also did frequently. After 2 weeks of caring for these children while their mother worked, which amounted to about 16 hours a day, because of the distance she had to commute by bus, I was beginning to get discouraged. I thought I was facing defeat. I began to think that even though being consistently respectful might work with children who lived less deprived lives, it didn't seem to be working with these children. Then one day, it seemed as if the tiny, spotty, almost invisible amount of progress we had made together vanished, and we were back to square one. I was ironing a shirt and I was feeling so frustrated and discouraged, thinking that the whole thing was hopeless. Before, it had been like rolling a heavy boulder up a mountain. Progress was hard and slow, but at least it was progress. Now it was like that boulder had just rolled to the bottom again. I began to cry as I was ironing. The oldest girl was the first to notice my tears. She became very concerned. She wanted to know what was wrong. Why was I crying? Soon all of the children were wanting to know why I was crying. I told them that I was sad because it seemed like they were getting along better and now they were fighting just like when I first came, and that I didn't know what to do. What happened then took me by complete surprise. They came up and hugged me and told me not to be sad. Then all the changes that had been happening inside them as they internalized the new behavior they were exposed to burst to the surface. They began to be sweet to each other. Even the older brother would kiss and hug his little brother and sisters before he left for school and when he came back home. Their activities became focused and purposeful. They cleaned up the house and cleaned up after themselves. My faith was restored and raised to a new level. I realized that all I needed was faith. I had perseverance and patience, but I was losing faith that I could be of help to these children. I was wrong. I can help you work miracles of your own. I'm here to help you start today. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of posting about this course that I've started, which you can either get the free trial version or the Thinkific version, but that costs $50. So anyway, you'll see posts about that. Okay. And then here I noticed, because I haven't looked at this interview for many, many years, And I say here that I'll teach you a simple power of respect skill that can make kids from 2 years old, at least through middle school, follow directions almost instantly. I first learned this with the help of a 2-year-old who never followed directions. But with the help of that skill that I teach you today, always followed directions almost instantly. And I was trying to, I figured that the answer to this would be soon, but it's probably at the end of the whole script, and I haven't gone that far yet. So, because I kept expecting it, so I was looking through it. But I'm pretty sure I remember what this is about, so I'm going to share that with you now. The one rule takes care of it all. But anyway, so what happened was there was a 2-year-old like that. And one day I felt inspired to go over to him and whisper what I wanted him to do. And that's when it was like, I figure since it was only between us, nobody else could hear what I said, that he didn't feel the need to push against it. That I don't know how it worked, but it worked consistently. And I used it with other children too after that. So I just whispered what I wanted him to do. He did it. You might like to try that. Okay, now let's see if some of these, let's see. I wonder if that's the way to go here. Okay, it's my intention to share as many of this Guardian stories as I can, as shows up here. We shall see. I did try this out earlier and it seemed to be working. Okay. Welcome to Karen Ryce's Family Zoom Station. That's how we started out. Episode 15, The Bully and the Guardians. And now we're on a slightly different title, same concept. And we're on episode 114, The Bully and the Guardians. During the first part of this 1-hour show, I share tips and strategies that create harmony with kids. Then we open things up for Q&A and discussion. When I talk about creating harmony with kids, I often bring up the one rule. In any situation where there are differences that might lead to conflict between you and your kids, use the one rule. Using the one rule means you find agreement. That's the rule. The one rule equals agreement. Agreement equals harmony. You find an idea that everyone likes, then you have agreement. When you follow this rule, you find harmony. You discover what needs to shift so that everyone involved feels good about the situation. It has never failed me when I have used it. Even though I had not isolated it and named it, it was very much a part of raising my children and working with students as a Montessori teacher in our Montessori school, as well as with students in public schools. The story I'm about to tell you is just an example of the one rule at work in the lives of these characters. If different things were important to them, if they were in different circumstances, the one rule would still help them find harmony. The bully and the guardians. Timmy was walking to school. He was going the long way, so he would not meet Jeff. Jeff would always say things that frightened him. Jeff called him names and threatened to beat him up. He was glad that Jeff wasn't in his class. Jeff was older. Timmy was also glad that they didn't have recess and lunch together, but there was after school to deal with. He wished his mom could take him to school like lots of the other kids. Their moms and dads took them to school, but his mom was a waitress and had to be at work before he left for school. He didn't know his dad. He got his own breakfast, got ready for school, and left extra early so he could walk the long way to school. He and his mom were new in town, so they didn't know many people. He wasn't very good at meeting kids. He was quiet and used to keeping to himself. He was in the second grade, but he was small for his age. When he was just a few blocks from school, he heard a couple of girls behind him. They were talking and laughing. One of the girls said, "Hi." "Hi," said Timmy. "I'm Pam and this is Jenny. What's your name? You're new here, aren't you? Where do you live? I haven't seen you walking to school before." These girls were older. They looked like they were in the 5th or 6th grade. "I'm Timmy. I am new and I don't usually walk this way. I'm going a different way today. I just don't want to meet a boy named Jeff. He's been mean to me." Timmy felt safe with these girls. He felt comfortable to talk with them. "I think I know who you mean. He's in the 4th grade. He's a bully. He likes to pick on younger kids," said Jenny. "Oh, yeah, I know who he is," said Pam. "I've heard about him picking on little kids for a while. We should do something about that." "Yeah, we should. I wonder what we could do," said Jenny. "Do you want to walk with us, Timmy?" asked Pam. "Sure, thanks," said Timmy. "We'll be your guardians," said Jenny. "Great name, Jen," said Pam. "I sure feel better having guardians," said Timmy. "Hey, maybe we could start a club, the Guardians, and we could help protect little kids from bullies," said Pam. "Awesome idea, Pam," said Jenny. "Let's do it. I'm sure some of the other kids would like to join. Let's see if we can talk with some of them before class." When they got to school, before Timmy went to line up, "Thanks, Pam and Jenny. It was fun walking to school with you," he said. "We should thank you, Timmy. Thanks to you, we have an idea for a great new club," said Jenny. "Maybe we should have vests or scarves or caps that say Guardian on them." "Another great idea, Jen. Do you want us to walk you home after school, Timmy?" asked Pam. "Sure," said Timmy. "You're in Miss Jensen's class, right?" asked Pam. I need water. "Yes," said Timmy. "We'll pick you up there. Just wait for us. Tell her we're picking you up. She's nice. She'll let you wait for us. We'll be there as quick as we can," said Pam. After school, the two girls walked Timmy home. Two of their friends joined them, a girl named Lacey and a boy named Ken. All the way they were talking about the Guardians. This day they took Timmy's long way, but they were talking about taking his short way tomorrow. They all agreed that if they were all together, there would be no trouble from Jeff. They were right. They saw him, but he didn't come near them. At the end of the week, when they got to Timmy's house, Timmy's mom was on the porch. She invited the kids for a snack. Hi, kids. You can call me Kathy. Hi, Kathy. I'm Pam. This is Jenny, Lacey, and Ken, said Pam. She said that Timmy had told her all about them helping him and about the guardians. She wanted to thank them for helping Timmy when she couldn't, and she wanted to share an idea with them to see what they thought about it. While they were having their snack, she explained that she'd been taking a class online learning how adults and kids can get along better and even how kids and kids can get along better. It was called The One Rule. It was simple to learn, and she was thinking that it might help them as guardians. It's fun, too, she said. How does it go? Asked Pam. In the class, we have partners we work with, and then we perform for the group. Let me tell you how we do it. What's the rule? Asked Jenny. Oh, the one rule is agreement. That's how we solve problems. We decide on something we both like, and we agree to solve it this way. Then we act it out for the whole group. That sounds fun and easy, said Jenny. Yeah, let's try it, said Pam. Lacey, Ken, you guys want to try it, right? Sure, said Lacey and Ken. What do we do? Asked Lacey. First, you choose partners, just for the first solution. You can switch partners later if you want to. Then you decide on a problem you want to solve. Everyone can work on the same problem, or each group can choose their own problem. Just remember, you have to solve the problem by figuring out something you agree on because you both like it, explained Kathy. Let's think about solving something about bullies, said Lacey. Yeah, that's what the guardians are all about, said Jenny. Timmy, do you want to be my partner? Asked his mom. I just want to watch, said Timmy. Okay, this time we'll just watch. After about 10 minutes, both groups were back. So who wants to go first? Asked Kathy. We'll go first, said Pam. Okay, first tell us what the problem is you're solving. Then show us how the solution works, said Kathy. We decided to solve a problem of bullying during lunch. Sometimes we see kids taking balls away from younger kids. Here's what we came up with, said Pam. She explained that the guardians would help hand out the equipment at lunch. If someone did not get something to play with, here's what the guardians would do. Pam played the kid that did not get a ball. Since all the balls are taken, what can I help you with that you would like to do? Asked Guardian Jenny. Man, I really wanted a basketball. There are 6 groups playing with basketballs. You could join one of those groups. I wanted to play by myself. I'll go with you and see if you can join one of the groups if you'd like me to. I know all those kids. They won't want me to play with them. Oh, look, Carl is playing by himself now. Should we go see if he'd like to play with you? I don't know. Do you want me to go ask him? I guess. Okay, wait here. I'll be right back. Carl says yes, let's go. I'll introduce you. Then Pam and Jenny bowed, signaling the end of their play. Everyone clapped. That was great. Yeah, that should solve a lot of problems at lunch. It makes everyone feel cared about. What a great solution. That could solve the problem of bullying. People who feel cared about don't bully other people, said Kathy. We're next, said Ken. We're not going to tell you the problem. You'll know it when we do our play. I'm Guardian Ken. I walk up to someone on the way to school. Hi, Jeff. I'm Ken. Can I walk with you for a while? Mom, whispered Timmy. They chose my problem. Yes, they did, whispered his mom. Why? Asked Lacey, who was playing Jeff. I want to invite you to join our club. Why do you want to invite me? I think you'd be a great member. I think you'd fit in great in this club, and that the club would be lucky to have you join. What's the club? It's called the Guardians, and we especially help kids who are being bullied by other kids. I figured since you're big and strong that you'd make a great guardian. What do I have to do? Well, we just started the club, and right now we're helping kids go to school and home safely and helping kids be safe from bullies at school. We get together after school and practice ideas to help kids be safe. Want to join? I'll think about it. I hope you decide to do it. I think you'd be a perfect guardian. Okay, I'll do it. At least I'll try it out. Great. Let's meet where they hand out the balls at lunch. Do you mind if I walk with you to school today, Guardian Jeff? They took their bow and everyone clapped. I want to be a guardian for kindergartners, said Timmy. Great idea, Guardian Timmy, said Pam. You kids have convinced me. I'm checking out being able to earn a living doing this work with the one rule. Now I'm convinced I've got to do this. You want to come over and do this regularly? They all agreed. Bye, Kathy. Bye, Timmy. See you next week. Okay, cool. Now, let's go to the next Guardian story. I know we're not going to have time to finish them all. Oh, what a trip. I wanted this one. This is the last one. We might have time for this. But I thought I would end up with the second one. But oh, cool. This one came to me. Thank you. The Guardians, when creating, see now the show is Raising Happy Kids Zoom show. The Guardians, when creating harmony is up to you. I'm going to skip this part because we just did it. We didn't do all of this, but I'm still skipping it. In today's slideshow, we explore a situation where creating harmony is up to you because the other person is too young to be able to participate. However, this approach is really perfect for anyone when you're starting out and the other person doesn't know the one rule. This approach is probably one of the best. So let's go. Jenny and Pam were walking Timmy home as usual. "You're right, Jen," said Pam. "I'll bet Kathy can help me with this. I've just been dreading it. I totally forgot what Kathy said about how we can use the one rule with 2-year-olds, but that it is different than what we do with the older kids. Remember, we can use it with grumpy adults too," laughed Jenny. "It works really well with grumpy adults," said Timmy. "We have a neighbor who used to be grumpy. I've been using the one rule for 2-year-olds with him when I have to talk with him. Now he isn't mean. Sometimes he doesn't say anything, but at least he isn't mean." "See, Pam," said Jenny, "I'm sure Kathy can help you." Wow, did it skip the whole thing? Yeah, I'm sure she can, but Dean is a real terrible too. No one can stand to be around him, and I got volunteered to take care of him while my cousin is visiting. "You got volunteered? Don't you use the one rule at home?" asked Jenny. "We usually do, but this was a kind of family emergency. They couldn't reach me to ask me about it. Mom said that with all my experience with the guardians, she was sure I'd agree and do a good job." "Would you agree?" asked Jenny. "I guess. My cousin really needs the help, and I'm the best one to do it. I was letting this get to me. I'm glad you reminded me about talking with Kathy. Maybe that's why this is happening, so I can learn about taking care of 2-year-olds using the one rule. I just hope it works. Then I could get a really good paying job babysitting 2-year-olds when I'm a little older. If it works, it could be my specialty." "Now that's the way to think, Pam," said Jenny. "This could turn out great." "My mom should be home if you want to talk with her," said Timmy. "I may as well," said Pam. "The sooner I feel good about this, or at least better, the more I'll like it." As they got to Timmy's house, "Mom, Mom," shouted Timmy, "Pam needs to talk with you." Kathy came out on the porch. "Hi, girls. Come give me a hug, Timmy, and tell me what's happening." Timmy ran up the stairs to hug his mom. "Pam has to babysit a terrible two, and she really needs some help." "What's this all about, Pam?" asked Kathy. Kathy had become the coach of the guardians right from the beginning when Pam and Jenny first walked Timmy home. She taught them the one rule and did weekly sessions with them where they practiced using the one rule. "Do you have some time to coach me, Kathy?" asked Pam. "Yes," said Kathy. "Let's have a snack first. I was just fixing something for Timmy and me. You girls hungry?" "Yes," the girls exclaimed. As they ate, Pam explained what had happened in her family and that Jen had suggested that Kathy could help her. "I'm sure we can figure out a good plan for you, Pam," said Kathy. "I'll tell you what I've learned about interacting with 2-year-olds. Yeah, that's what I was remembering you said about working with grumpy adults," said Jenny. "That's right, and that sure works," said Timmy. Timmy had become so confident during his time with the guardians. "Okay, let's get started. I'm going to tell you what you have to do differently with 2-year-olds or grumpy adults when it comes to the one rule. I'm also going to tell you why the terrible twos develop and how to avoid them. Sound good?" "Sure, anything that helps," said Pam. Soon after a child is through the terrible twos, you won't have to do this. But for 2-year-olds, and really anyone younger, like toddlers and babies, you have to be the one to find the harmony. They cannot participate any more than they already are. They're already in harmony with their developmental blueprint, and that takes all of their attention. What is that? Their developmental blueprint, asked Pam. It's what is built into all of us so that we figure out how to move our bodies like walking. We learn the language when we're born. We learn so much to help us in our lives, and we all learn these things at about the same time and in the same order. That's how we know about the developmental blueprint. I'll tell you briefly what we know about 2-year-olds and their development and why it seems that they are difficult or even terrible. 2-year-olds are developing their willpower. They are making themselves into people who know what they want, who know how to get what they want, and who are determined to keep going until they get what they want. What makes this so difficult for those around them is that when they are determined to do and have things that other people do not want them to do or have, that sure sounds like Dean, said Pam. I'm not surprised, said Kathy, because of what you've said about him. To be able to work with him, you have to pay attention to him. As a person at this stage of development, he must practice wanting and being successful. He has no choice. Young children have to do what their developmental blueprint directs them to do. So in a way, he already is in harmony with his developmental blueprint, which guides his development. Harmony? Then why is he such a brat, asked Pam. He isn't necessarily in harmony with those around him, so it is up to them to get into harmony with him, said Kathy. Get into harmony with a brat, asked Pam. He's only considered a brat because the adults around him do not understand what he's doing and do not know how to work with him. It can make all the difference if people work with him instead of against him, explained Kathy. So how do I work with him, asked Pam. First, it helps if you find harmony inside of yourself, asked Kathy. How do I do that, asked Pam. There are various ways. We have a whole training on this. Before he gets there, you could give yourself a timeout. A timeout? Why do I need a timeout, asked Pam. Just to have some time to yourself, doing something you enjoy, like listening to music or reading or dancing, or writing a list of things you're glad about in your life, or even sitting quietly and just paying attention to your breath going in and out of your nostrils, or listening to an app on your phone like dripping water or central air. With the first two, the idea is to get you focusing on what you appreciate about your life. These help you feel the good feelings of harmony inside of you. With the last two, it is to stop your thoughts. This helps you get in touch with the source of harmony inside of you, explained Kathy. I think I'll start with writing a list of things I'm glad about, said Pam. It's good to do this every day to make it a practice. Maybe we can tell all the guardians about this, said Jenny. I want to do it. That's a great idea, Jen, said Pam. I agree, Pam, said Kathy. You can help me with this, can't you, Mom? Asked Timmy. We can do this together, can't we, Mom? Sure we can, Timmy, said Kathy. So what do I do next? Asked Pam. It's very important to remember that your work is to put yourself in harmony with Dean, since he can't get into harmony with you. Realize that he's doing important developmental work and do your best to think yourself into harmony with him. Make sure you keep feeling good about what's going on between you. That is you being in harmony with him. Pay close enough attention to him while you're with him to notice when he first chooses to do something. He needs to keep practicing wanting something and doing his best to achieve it. If you notice he's choosing something you do not want him to choose, when he has first made a choice, it's easier to get him to choose something else, something that you feel good about. Once he has become determined to do or have something, it's easier to go along with him and make sure that it goes smoothly, explained Kathy. What did you mean by think yourself into harmony with him? Asked Pam. Let's say you didn't realize that he had chosen to take the TV remote into another room. Since he's already doing it, he's being determined. So to think yourself into harmony, you might think, I'm going to follow him, and when he's done, I'll make sure to put the remote back, but where he can't get it again. So you think that, and you do that. Now, if you see that he's going to put it in the dog's water bowl, you have to interrupt him. Just do your best to make it an enjoyable experience for both of you instead of an unhappy one. So besides finding harmony inside of yourself, paying close attention is one of the most important things. Doing your best to create harmony with the other person is another important part of this. I just had a thought, said Pam. What if we came over here, at least for the first time? Then I could see how to do things. Yes, Mom, said Timmy. Let's do that. I have toys he could play with. That should work out, said Kathy. Just let me know in advance so I can reschedule coaching calls if I have any at that time. I think I will suggest this as our practice during our next guardians meeting. It can help in all kinds of situations, even with parents, really with anyone who isn't familiar with the one rule. We all need to know these skills if we're going to introduce the one rule into our families and communities. Great idea, Kathy, said Pam. Yes, said Jenny and Timmy. All right, perfect. This is exactly the time. I'm stopping the screen share. Finished right on time. Oh my goodness, that is another cool thing. Okay, I wish you all a great week. Remember, keep an eye out for the trial or sign up for the class in Thinkific. The free trial has pretty much the same things. So either one. Okay, wish you a great week. See you next time.